And how many of you like the job that Governor LePage is doing? That wasn't loud enough. How many of you like the job that Governor LePage is doing? Well, I have to tell you, I am terrified about what's about to come next. And what I'm worried about is that we are all going to have to learn how to say the 3 scariest words in the English language. Governor Janet Mills. Because if there's someone that does not respect the Constitution and does not respect freedom, it is our current Attorney General, who has declared that although the Maine State Constitution says there are only 3 branches and all powers fall within one of those branches, she's declared that she herself is the 4th branch.
She needs to be fired.
We need a new Attorney General and we need a new governor, but I have some concerns. And I had intended to be here tonight to talk to you about the economic development and education nonprofit that I'm starting, which some of the proceeds from tonight are going to, and I want to thank the organizer of this event. Because rural Maine is hurting. Rural Maine is in crisis. And the people here in Augusta are more interested in seeing their names in the newspaper for fighting with Larry Lockman or fighting with LePage than they're interested in doing the right thing for the right reason. We have a Speaker of the House who is holding the state of Maine hostage right now and won't let members of the House vote on common sense legislation that would help rural Maine. We have a runaway education system that's been reprogrammed with the Common Core, but we're not giving our teachers the resources they need to be the best they can be. We have a desperate education system where it's okay if you grew up in Falmouth or Cape Elizabeth, you're going to do okay. But if you grew up in Aroostook County, Piscataquis County, Washington County, Lincoln County, Augusta's forgotten about you. We have an education funding formula. We have new taxes. We have new referendums. And why are there so many referendums? We have a flood of referendums because the legislature is broken and they're not doing their job. On marijuana, on gay marriage, on minimum wage. On each of these issues, the only reason there's a referendum on ranked choice voting is because the legislature is broken. And so a lot of people have been asking me if I would consider running for office. And this one's going to be surprising, so people can pay attention. People have been asking if I could run for office, and I said no. Because the private sector is where we can get a lot more done. And I've told people I'm running from office, I'm not running for office, and that's what I intended to do. But right now there's a seat in my hometown of Gorham, and people said, will you run for the legislature? We think you could be in legislative leadership. Well, there is no legislative leadership in Augusta right now. The legislature is broken. We have a constitutional crisis. So I've been looking at the gubernatorial candidates. I've been looking at them on the Democratic side. I've been looking at them on the Republican side. I've been looking at the independents, and guess what? All we have running for office right now is more of the same. We have some really good people. Sean Moody is someone I have known most of my life. I grew up in Gorham, and he is a great businessman. But I have great concerns that he's woefully inexperienced when it comes to working with government, and he's going to get fooled by the same people who fooled LePage his first term. Mary May, who did an amazing job at DHHS on fraud, waste, and abuse, but DHHS is still in shambles. And President Trump wants Mary May to go to Washington and do for Washington what she did for Maine. I think she should go there because we could use her in Washington.
True.
Garrett Mason was one of the people against clean election dollars for gubernatorial candidates, and yet he was the first one to sign up and take it. And what I love about Senator Mason, and I mean this sincerely, is he talks about his faith and he talks about his values. And how refreshing it is to see someone in public life willing to talk about their faith, willing to put God first, and willing to speak about Jesus from the pulpit.
That's right.
And so I really appreciate that, but I don't think he's ready. I don't think he's had management experience, and I don't think the job that Senator Mason and President Thibodeau have done leading the Republicans in the Senate has come anywhere near the job that Ken Fredette and Ellie Espling and Alex Willett before her have done leading the House Republicans. Because no one for this last term has had Governor LePage's back more than Ken Fredette and his caucus. Unfortunately, I don't think Ken Fredette has a shot at the nomination. So we could look at the independents or we could look at the Democrats. And it looks like Janet Mills is running away with the Democratic primary. So I'm concerned. And as I've been talking about this for the last several weeks, since the last day of legislative session when I left Governor LePage's office, the Republicans that I talked to said, we wish we had another choice. When I first joined Governor LePage's office, he gave me a coin, and on the coin it said 10 two-letter words. And those words were, if it is to be, it is up to me. And with due respect to Governor LePage, who I support and who was an honor to work for, I think he got one of those words wrong. The last word. If it is to be, it's up to us. It's up to each and every one of us in this room to demand more from government, to demand more from the people we do elect, and to demand more for the candidates that we have running for office. And so I'm willing to take the governor up on his challenge, because I don't think that there is a gubernatorial candidate in the field that gets it, that gets what's going on, that gets that both parties are out of touch. But I think those people in this room get it, and I get it. And so here's what I'm willing to say. I am willing to consider running as a write-in candidate for governor. I don't think it's ever been done before in Maine, but I'm willing to try doing it. Because the system's great. I can't run as an independent, and I'm not an independent. But I'm willing to run as a write-in Republican because I've been a Republican longer than Sean Moody, Mary Mayhew, and Donald Trump put together. I remember what the Republican Party is when I was growing up in Maine. And I remember when Maine was a place where you could speak with people that you disagree with. You could have an argument and then go fishing or have a bonfire. And you know what, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people are happy with the options. So I'm only going to run for governor as a write-in candidate, which people tell me I'm crazy. My mom has begged me not to do it because this is a very dangerous time. This is a time where people are torn apart on Twitter, where everyone's collecting opposition research, trying to remind you of the worst thing that you ever did in your life. Well, I'm a Christian and I don't believe anyone's irredeemable. I think we all make mistakes. But I think that our best days can still be ahead of us. I've been on Facebook, I've been all over this state, seeing what we can do, how we can believe in ourselves again. And people tell me, slow down. People tell me, you're doing too much, you're going too fast. Well, guess what? Rural Maine is in a crisis. We can't slow down. These are not normal times. Our constitutional rights are under attack. And so we need to stand up. So, if 2,000 people are willing to go to my website, which my friends have set up for me, James, what's the website?
Run, Aaron, Run.
It's runaaronrun.com. If 2,000 people go online and give us your information and tell me, now we're going to check and make sure that you're registered voters in Maine, because the party candidates need 2,000 signatures, so we'll get 2,000 registered voters. If 2,000 people go to my website, and there's a place to donate, if we can raise $1,000 for the Run Aaron Run PAC and get 2,000 Maine voters to go on my website by the filing deadline for write-in candidates, I'll put my name out there. Eric Brady talked about running an uphill battle. There is no more uphill battle than running it as a statewide write-in candidate. But you know what? These are not normal times. I'm willing to go up any hill. Because what is the most fundamental right in a democracy? Or a democratic republic? It's participation. It's the right to vote, being able to vote. What is happening to our right to vote? First, everyone was concerned that the Russians hacked our election, that the voting software couldn't be trusted. And if that weren't bad enough, now we have these gridded butterfly ballots that no one knows how to use. Ranked choice voting, you don't know if you can vote for one person once or multiple times or how it's going to go. Our right to vote is under attack. And they're doing it on purpose to take away our right as individual citizens to participate in our government. Well, there is no better way to make sure that your vote counts than to write a name on a line. And I know we don't teach penmanship in school anymore, but we ought to. So, if I can get 2,000 people to go to my website and tell me that they want me to run, if we can raise $100,000, I will be back here announcing that I want you to write my name on a line for governor of the state of Maine, so we can take back our freedoms, restore our Constitution, and protect this great state, because it's time. When I was growing up in Maine, I grew up in Gorham. I graduated high school in 2002, and I thought that Maine had a bright future. And it did. But I went off to college, I went and started my career, and I came back, and guess what? What did I find in rural Maine? What did I find in the Katahdin Woods? What did I find in Washington County? I found despair. And that is not okay. It breaks my heart, it breaks my spirit, and we shouldn't have to take it anymore. So I'm calling on the children of Maine, those of us who grow up knowing that the best days of the state of Maine, in our woods, in our waters, were ahead of us. They can be again, but we're going to have to do some unusual thing. We're going to have to believe in ourselves again. We're going to have to build the types of communities that give great education, great opportunity. We're going to need broadband throughout our state, which we could do if Sarah Gideon would stop holding the legislature hostage. So, I want to thank all of you for coming out to this event tonight. I want to thank you for humoring me, because there are people who've been telling me that I'm crazy. And I probably am, because it takes a crazy person to be willing to run for office in this state. It takes a crazy person to be willing to be a Republican on the ballot. And I'm very thankful that our party is so popular these days that Sean Moody and Mary Mayhew finally decided to join it. It means that we're on the right track. But we can't slow down, we have to speed up. So please, join me in thanking all the candidates that were here. Thank you to the Richmond Republican Town Committee. And if you are as crazy as I am, please visit my friend's website, which is runaaronrun.com. Give us your information, and we'll think about coming back here again if we get the support. Thank you all, God bless you, have a great night.